doing?
I'm feeling pretty good right now, Billy.
Okay, so
I'm in between
Are
waves.
we peaking yet or no?
Right now, I'm mildly there. No, then it's interesting because usually there's like a calm before the storm. Like I'm kind of like
the highest you were was at the very beginning.
Well, I purposefully started it at like the height of a wave.
Yeah, you were like really, really like just.
Oh, you'd be surprised, but like no, it's still coming though. It's still gonna happen.
Okay, and are you gonna get like that melatonin? Like,
yes,
you're right.
100%. Like I'm in the grip of it at that point.
Yeah. That's what it's like really got you feeling.
But it's because like when you see me like looking over and shit like that, I'm not paying attention because I'm listening. I'm actually listening.
You're just like listening to my. You're just listening to my story, staring at the TV.
No, I'm listening to something else. Either something grips my attention, or I'm listening to something else. Not like it's like talking to me like in my ear, like a weird thing like that. But like I'm like receiving some kind of like insight. Or like I'll be looking at something and like I'll start understanding something. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like there'll be like some kind of. If you do this, you'll understand.
I'm gonna do it.
You get revelations, you get epiphanies, you get insights, you get filled with like this joy. You understand that there is no such thing as separate. Like you truly understand. We've all heard this stuff from people that have done psychedelics. Yeah. Like we're all one. And yes, you feel it. You know it. You know it in a way that words cannot express when you do this. It's wild. You know. And you also know beyond a shadow of a doubt that it's absolutely the truth. And that what you're experiencing is more real than the reality that you're used to being in every single day. And the only people that are skeptical are those that have never really gotten to this place, if you will. But it's available. I'm not saying like if you have a medical condition, blah, 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 disclaimer. You don't fucking know, right? We're adults. But like for instance, like I would love to see a guy like Jordan Peterson do it, who's been such an intellectual his entire life. And
see what's like pick his brain
because
a little bit.
I could see like I used to be I am a huge fan of his. I still think he's a great guy. He's a very smart guy. And I used to be an intellectual guy myself, like up until I did these. But after you do them, you get like shown the truths about reality. You know what reality is. You understand like where like your speculations were wrong, and like so I can see that in him now, where I'm just like he's never done psychedelics, like. You'll know where the things that you think are wrong and shit like that.
I can do it, Jordan.
I don't know if am I expressing this well?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can do a Jordan Peterson impression now.
Is it Kermit the Frog also?
No. But I toned it down and I made it a little more for real.
Tea to sip, like,
you ready?
Like the meme.
All right, check this out. And he came back and asked why. If I was going to do.
I'm glad I wasn't drinking this.
No, take this. And he came back and asked why. If I was going to deal with disenfranchised young men, maybe I would then. Isn't that good? Dude, am I not capturing that fucker? Alright, isn't that good?
Tim Dillon does a great one. He's like, it's not immediately clear.
Like a fucking leprechaun?
It's not immediately clear. He says that all the time. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh my gosh, man.
But yeah, so you genuinely... like, this is another thing that I was telling Billy at the beginning. So this is the mushrooms episode after all. Let's talk about it, right?
Yeah.
I was telling Billy before we started rolling the camera that... like you understand that time is there is no such thing as time. Like, it really is just infinite. Everything just goes on. There is no beginning and end. Everything in the Bible is true, basically.
How little you matter.
You understand like the trivialities of our lives and like all the things that you stress about, that you worry about, that we care about. When you see it cast in that light, when you realize the infinite of time, if you will. And the way I explained to him was like, imagine your whole body and like this is your lifespan. It's just the tip of the point of your pinky nail, not even the whole nail. Just the absolute fucking axis tip of it. Just that little decimal point. That's your life in the span of like what else is out there. And even that doesn't even do it justice. And then you realize really quickly, like, we're just here for a visit. This isn't shit. And we're laughable creatures. It's just laughable. Like, all this is gonna pass in the blink of an eye. It's just a ride. It's just a trip. This is a trip, and so is life. It's a fucking ride. It's nothing. We're here to learn some lessons and get in and get out. Everything is so serious and so important because we think that our lives is the only one we get. We're just wrong. Like we think that our lives is the only one.
Are you thinking along the lines of reincarnation?
You do get reincarnated. You understand. I'm telling you, you understand these things. You absolutely have. Lived. Okay. When you're like, oh, I feel like I've lived multiple. You have.
But do we multiply?
What do you mean? Do we multiply?
I mean, like the population was very low a long time ago. Right?
I don't know about shit like that.
Do you feel me?
I know that your soul is infinite.
You're talking new people and new people and new people.
Like this is a means. You come in and inhabit like basically like how I put my suits on. You basically inhabit this for whatever. It's like the movie Avatar. It's just like Avatar. You just get in there and then until that body dies and then you're out and then you come back and what happens is you make a deal. So like when you come back in, you lose your memory of everything, all your past lives and everything. It's kind of still there though, right? It's still everyone has this little weird thing. It's kind of still there. But it's like
deja vu.
the best way I can explain it is like, there was you know who Aldous Huxley is? He's one of my favorites. He was a great philosopher, thinker, writer, you know, very, very, very brilliant man. He wrote Brave New World.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so the author of Brave New World, anyway, he's one of my heroes. But he dabbled in mescaline and psychedelics, things like this, and he actually explained it, and I can't do it more justice than he did. He's way smarter than fucking I am. He was like, think of it like your mind like being like having filters on it, like an aperture, right? Like an aperture. And when you come into the physical form, if you will, like here's all of what gets sent in from reality, and it just closes off into this like basically tiny, minuscule little point, and like that's what's being fed into your reality, and all the rest of it is just being kept out, and it's still out there. And when you do psychedelics like this, you're basically like opening that aperture a little bit more, so more of it is just shining in. You're able to like, have more access to it. And even what I've experienced, which is tremendous, by the way, is nothing. It's infinitesimal. That's why I don't feel all high and mighty. I understand. What I understand is like, for as much as I know, which is almost like sage-like wisdom in this reality, if you will, isn't shit. I'm a fucking child. I know nothing compared to what's really out there. Even when it shows you the smallest amount, which is like, you know, people like Buddha, like people that we look up to, like this infinite wisdom they have. They know as well as I do that they know virtually nothing. It's just way more than what we're used to. This is all going to become common.
Okay,
this is all going to be known. I swear to God.
What about Gandhi?
Gandhi's great, man. I love the guy.
But he ain't shit.
No, he knows he ain't shit. None of us are shit. He knows he ain't shit.
What about Hitler?
Hitler's pretty dumb. No, I'm kidding. That was a setup. Come on, I'm kidding. I wanted to go Kanye on you.
All right, well, then, okay, how about here? Another guy. What about, like, the prophet Elijah Muhammad?
I'm sure that he was probably a sage.
Basically, then, okay, so...
We're all the same.
Then
We're all the same. By the way, when I say we, I mean all of us. Like we really are just a piece of one another.
100%. But, all right, let me ask you a question. So, do you think that certain people just have the ability to go out and make a name for themselves, like we said, all like those prolific characters that we just mentioned?
That we recognize it when we see it, and we don't like. We're attracted to it like a moth is to a light, if you will.
Yeah.
And they automatically just kind of rise to the. I don't think that he looked for fame in that way. I mean, maybe some of them did, but the original one, you know what I'm talking, like the originals.
Yeah.
The OG.
Oh yeah, of course.
I think they just.
Nobody. I don't think like Genghis Khan. I don't think Genghis Khan thought he was going to be written in history.
Well, he definitely was trying. Like,
yeah.
I think that he clearly was trying. But you know what I'm saying? Like the other sages, like I think that they become legends that way because we recognize that divinity in them, if you will. And I think if you sat down and talked to any of them, if you ever see on camera or ever see any kind of spiritual leader and they have like a haughtiness about them, they're not the real deal. That's
except for Joel.
If there's nothing but humility, like if they don't have humility in their face to truly understand the vastness and the infiniteness and the real authority that you stand in front of when you're in this state, if you will. Like when you're enlightened like that, like and you realize that you're absolutely like the fucking power of it.
Yeah.
You just know. You know it in your bones. And like the weird thing is like you feel like it's this overwhelming infinite presence of love where it's like you know you're not shit at all, and it still loves you immensely, which is flattering. Like I don't even know how to put it. It's like you just feel you feel like you did when you were a little kid again. Like it's just like you're like you don't have to, but you feel it wash through everything. You feel it wash through your bones to the core of your being. It's so powerful that like there's no word. Like my words are failing me because it's just impossible to describe. But I'm just saying like that's what's so great about it is that like it could just be this evil thing to you. And it just loves you anyways. Like it doesn't. You're not owed shit. Like no one's owed anything. It's hilarious, man.
If you're as lost as I am, he's tripping. But that was the episode. That's what we were going for, man.
If you do it though, this is the funny part is that if you did this with me and then we had this,
it would make sense.
You could watch this sober and it'll make sense to you after you've experienced it. So,
I mean,
right,
I get what you're getting at.
Can I sum it up like this? I'm not telling people to believe me or to like listen to what I'm saying. This is how I explain to everyone. I'm like, all I am is I'm a guy who's like, say like you've never been to Brazil, and I go to Brazil and I call you from Brazil, and I'm like, oh,
and like I got fucking mugged.
No, I'm like, that could happen. Monkey stole my wallet. No, I'm just like, I'm like, there's trees. It smells like this. There's beautiful rivers. There's these. I'm trying to explain it to you.
You're still not going to get it.
I'm just telling you to come visit Brazil. Like all I'm doing, I'm calling you and saying, hey, Brazil exists. It's magical. It's wonderful. Come check that shit out for yourself because there's no words that I have that are going to do it justice. All I'm doing is I'm just letting you know that Atlantis exists. It's fucking really there. and it's there for all of us. It's not just I'm not this special person that gets to have this. Like this is. Like we all have the same birthright. We all have the same ability.
Do you think
to
that they should be mass producing shrooms?
Yes.
Like they're doing weed now?
Absolutely, without a shadow of doubt, without a question in my mind. Yeah, 100%.
I don't understand why one's legal and the other's not. That's really silly.
Historians know that like almost all of our evolutions and histories from ancient societies have come from psychedelics. There was a certain point where we criminalized it.
Any plant illegal? That's a joke. That's really a fucking joke.
But we already know that this stuff has profound magnifying effects, if you will.
Yeah.
You should try it. I am between waves if you want to talk to regular.
I am gonna try it.
I do.
Dude, you were going off on.
I can actually take this off from it.
You were going off. I'm being real. Look at me. All I gotta do is you're taking your ride, and all I gotta do is sit in a little side compartment like this.
Dude, we knew that this was gonna be like a whole experimental experience.
Yes. Well, what do you think? What do you think of the episode so far? Like, is it doing what you wanted it to do? You wanted to go through your waves and show, you know what I mean?
Kind of, yeah. I kind of wanted to like authentically do it and demonstrate what it's.
It's gonna be nuts.
And talk about it while I was experiencing it.
It's gonna be nuts watching you back on it when you're like.
I'm still in it right now.
Yeah,
I'm in between waves. Like as you can tell, I'm kind of in between waves right now. Like it's very diminished, but when it comes back,
will I be in between waves?
How about this, guys? Like we'll do 1 or 2 more waves, and then we'll close out the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like when I have that's when I start telling you all the stuff that I'm telling you is when I'm in a wave.
Yeah. Will I be in between waves?
Yeah, it's like that. As far as I could tell, I mean, be it far from me to tell everyone what they're going to experience, but as far as I could tell, yeah.
Like, will you be like, oh shit, I'm going back up again?
Here we go. I've done it with at least 3 different people, and we all have it in similar fashion.
Okay. Yeah, man, I gotta try that, dude.
Peaks and valleys.
Going through peaks and valleys.
It's just cool though, man. You get to take that with you when you're done too, and you just care about people. It gives you empathy, and you just realize that we all just gotta cut the shit.
Do you go back though afterwards?
Yes and no.
You have to
a point. Like you don't feel as sensitive and open to it. Like you know, what I mean, eventually you go, but you never forget. Like I am hardwired as a different person after having these experiences.
Yeah,
I am a different person without a doubt. You know it's not fake. It's not fake. It wasn't. I'm just high for this time, and when it goes away, it all goes with. It doesn't go with it.
Wouldn't it be funny?
Because it's real. It's the truth.
Wouldn't it be funny if I did microdose and everybody I saw their face melted, and I'm like, you lied.
It's all been a ruse.
That's all that happens through the whole thing. Their faces.
The Chinese balloons is freaking the fuck out.
I'm like, it's out there again. Oh, that'd be fucking funny, but I think if I don't act like a pussy and go into it with a good like head,
it would be cool if I could like if you could feel the things that I'm telling you because I'm trying to describe.
I want you, dude. I'm gonna be real.
All right.
Can I be honest with you? Okay, so you said how you feel about it, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real. To me, honestly, I just have to sit here and like watch you go through it, you know. I'm being real. I'm getting FOMO. Like, of course, I want to feel like. You know how you feel, like you want to get that you know,
I want
that
people
enlightenment
to know it's
stuff
real.
like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck yeah, dude. I want to do that. I do.
Yes.
And then I want to build up a tolerance to where we can go on like bigger trips. You know.
Oh, 100. I want to do I want to rent a cabin.
Like a nature walk. Oh,
I want to rent a cabin. That way we could do it out in the wilderness without being in danger of getting lost. Because I know, like you gotta have your scruples.
All right, listen. I'm gonna say this.